Would you like to meet one of the best dentists on earth here in Philadelphia, the land of the cheesesteak, dentisting camaraderie, and CE? April 2024, Dr. Jason Smithson, a true top chef dentist, is coming to Philadelphia to share his awesomeness, an indirect restorative odyssey, inlays, onlays, veneers, crowns, and more. You do not want to miss this opportunity to be in the room with the amazing Dr. Jason Smithson. To learn more about it and get the best price possible, just text Smithson to 215-543-6454. Text Smithson to 215-543-6454 or visit dentalnachos.com. Talking Nachos is dedicated to helping you do three things as a dentisting human: increase success, decrease stress, and most of all, reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. I'm ready for my first guest, and my team is ready to bring them up. I have my awesome friend and sponsor and fellow Philadelphian area native, Jamie DeBias of Day One. Day One is an amazing company that helps dentists realize their dreams, avoid screams. That's what you can say, Jamie. Realize your dreams, avoid screams. I like that. Tell us what you do to help dentists on a day-to-day basis.
Be happy to do that. Thanks, Paul, for having me on. So as we were talking just before everybody went live, your big thing about helping dentists cry less on the inside. Well, we help dentists cry less on the inside by bringing in more of their ideal patients to their practice. Simple way of putting that. And we do that through a combination of website design, search engine optimization, social media management, ads on social media and Google, basically coming up with an entire strategy that works for that particular office and then executing on that strategy.
I like that. And you come up with that. You're helping one of my favorite dentisting humans, Dr. Todd Fleischman, showcase your awesomeness. That's what you should share. Because what I would like to ask you, and I think I know a little bit of the answer, is there a chance that you run into customers who do amazing work for patients in their chair, but their online presence does not match the awesomeness they deliver in their office? How does that happen, and how do you help them fix it?
It is a very common situation, and depending upon where the practice is in the evolution of their digital footprint, most of the time what has happened is we work with a lot of practices that have been in transition. So they have new owners are coming on board and they're taking over, they're creating a brand new identity, distancing themselves in a sense from the previous practice and creating their own practice. And so a lot of that work is behind the scenes technical component, but it's also helping them create the messaging, the imaging, the awareness, refreshing on a website, some of those things to do that. But there's also getting their information out there. And this is an area that a lot of the practices that we've worked with don't realize that so many times their message is not as loud as they would like it to be online, because they just haven't been able to get their name, their practice name, their address, their phone number, business content, all of the places they wanted. In fact, I got a great story for you. I won't mention them by name, but a practice that is another good friend of yours that we're working with. Something that he has struggled with for the last couple of years was the map pin for his location was in the wrong place on Google Maps. Wow. And he has struggled to try and get them to the right place. So something as simple as that, we were able to fix that for him. And just doing that, he felt like, you are the person I have wanted my whole life to be able to make this happen.
That's great.
Something as simple as that level of frustration of having so many patients just say your map pin's in the wrong place and not being able to fix it. Something small like that, that's a great win for us. But it's also a great win for that dentist, because it is something that was producing extra stress in their life that was not necessary.
I love that, Jamie. I love that story. Also, just, as we wrap up, there's one more question I want to ask you is, I encourage dentists to JFO, just find out about what people can do through complimentary consults. And I remember someone I recently connected with you and another marketing sponsor, and he did some consult calls. And I don't think he's ready to move forward with anyone yet, but he really appreciated the information. He said, I really enjoyed talking to Jamie. So us dentists, we're always trying to educate people without an agenda, right? Maybe you have a patient in for a free consult and they're not ready for implants yet, but they leave with education. So tell our community with the value of scheduling a complimentary call through Nachos. They can go to text Day One to 215-543-6454, even if they're not ready to totally take the leap yet.
Absolutely. At heart, I'm a teacher. There's so many things that I have learned over the years of working with clients, dentists, working in the digital marketing field, and much of it I'm very willing to explain to people and tell
Yeah.
them how they can help them out. I always let people know when they schedule initial consultation, we do about an hour to an hour and a half worth of research internally just to prepare for that conversation. And so what it looks like when somebody reaches out to me is I'm going to give them a very high level overview of areas on their website that would need to be addressed, that maybe perhaps are not as best as it could be, give them an idea of where their digital footprint looks like, how
Yeah.
well they appear online, and then really dig into a little bit more about the benefits of various aspects of marketing. But then I also let them know, if you don't act now, here's likely what's going to happen.
Right.
Very much like you do a treatment plan and you put your plan in front of them, and the patient says, "Okay, I'm not really ready for this right now." Well, what happens if I don't act right now? And
Yeah.
I try and I know that everybody's ready to make those decisions, but at least they are educated on where they stand and what happens if they don't make a decision at that moment in time.
I absolutely love that. I always say to my patients, even if you decide to do nothing, we can still be friends. But if you ignore this tooth problem, you might ruin your vacation to France. And then they go, oh, I'm going to take care of it. So, well, Jamie, thanks for doing what you do. You've come to many events. You support us in so many ways. You support my practices personally. People can text day 1 to 215-543-6454. But how could people reach out to you directly, or what's the best website for them to go to for you?
Best place is to go to my website, dentalmarketingfromday1.com. And then there's a button on there. You can just schedule an initial consultation with us.
Awesome. Well, just JFO, talk to Jamie. You're going to leave with more information to help you make better decisions. Thanks so much, Jamie.
Thank you.
So as you guys can see, Talking Nachos is designed to help you learn things you didn't know before, or reinforce good ideas, or give you that aha moment like, I should go and do this thing. I'm ready for my next guest, and my team is ready. So I am talking with the awesome Tyler Hansen of Dental Intel, a longtime supporter and sponsor. We use them in our office. Tyler, for anyone who doesn't know or is just new to the space, what does Dental Intel do to help dentists cry less inside?
Awesome. Appreciate it, Paul, and having us on. So Dental Intelligence is the one-stop shop when it comes to patient engagement, online scheduling. But the biggest thing that I think Dental Intelligence succeeds at is the data analytics for your practice. So a lot of times practices out there get shown data, but they don't know what to do with their data or where to focus. And that's the biggest differentiator with Dental Intelligence, is to show you what to do to change in your practice to increase production per visit, and just know where to focus as a dentist.
I love that. I was giving a lecture last night, and here you can use my line. You could say to your customers, do you want to help more patients? They'll say yes. Do you want to make more money? Also yes. Do you want to work more hours? God, no. Right. Nope. So if you want to help more patients, make more money, have more fun with your team, you need to figure out how to be as patient-centered first and productive second, because it is easy to use your time in the dental office, spinning your wheels, doing unproductive things, losing the ability to follow up. I mean, we use Dental Intel, Modento, and Local Med. Sometimes I say to my office manager, Kate, just press that magic Dental Intel button and get us more hygiene visits, and it's magical. I mean, just tell, you might want to, I'll let you share what you're going to share, but I say to Kate, oh, we need hygiene booked in 6 weeks. I say, do your Dental Intel thing. And then I see like 6 people book in the next 2 hours. What is that magic that Dental Intel does with Dental Local Med or whatever it is? Tell us about that magic button.
Yeah, so there's a couple different aspects to it. It's the online scheduling, just being able to allow patients to book whenever they want, right? They're going to be at work all day. They come off at 6 o'clock. The office isn't open or whatever, and just being able to book online. We also have a function called Patient Finder. So it's going to be a very granular filtering system to focus on the exact type of patient that you want to focus on. So you can get as granular as, hey, we've got some unscheduled treatments that have 2740s, and we want to get them scheduled, right? And so you can push that magic button. It pops up a list of patients. You can bulk message them the online scheduling link, and it can automatically schedule those. So you set the parameters of what type of patient you want to focus on, and it provides the best type of patient that's going to provide the best ROI for the office.
Also, I mean, it's something I wish I had sooner in my career. I think that if someone's listening, you're looking at someone who's been a dentist for 21 years. I wish these things were invented sooner. We were using the rock and the stick. We had people say, hey, do you want to stay from 5 to 7 and call people on the phone and beg them to come in for hygiene? And, while that was the best we had at that time, there's just so many things that exist now. Well, Dental Intel to me is a total Nacho brainer. People can text Intel to 215-543-6454. Is there anything you want to add, Ty, or anything I missed that you want to catch up my community on what Dental Intel is doing right now?
Along with some of those bigger things, the biggest thing is automation, right? Clearing up time for your front staff and allowing your front staff to be able to focus on what's important for the practice.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Automated forms, automated online scheduling, automated lists of who to focus on, automated write back. I mean, that's the name of the game, is automation, so that you can spend more time and focus on the patients.
Awesome. Well, love seeing you at events. I know we're going to have a great end of the year with Dental Intel. We're going to have that whole crash. People say, I need to get in before my benefits expire. So try to get out of that. It's not an easy time of year.
Yep.
They always remember you when their benefits expire, right? We were here for the past 9 months, right? We were here in August. Oh, you were at the beach every weekend in August? But that's what we do as dentists, help people even when they don't always follow the best practices for us. And I think Dental Intel represents everything Dental Nacho stands for. It kindly annoys patients into good decisions, right? So
yep, exactly.
Thanks so much, Tyler. So I want to reach out to you directly to ask more about Dental Intel as an awesome sponsor. How could they reach out to you directly?
So my personal number, well, you can go to my email. It's thansen, HANSEN @dentalintel.com. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me.
Awesome. We'll put that in the chat. Thanks so much, Tyler. Awesome. So now you guys see, we talk about marketing to the right patients. We talk about getting the metrics, marketing and metrics. Both of those increase your morale. And I'm ready for my next guest. So my team is ready to bring them up. I have the awesome Maritza, who is here in Philadelphia, hanging out with us for our last event. You can text MDent to 215-543-6454 to learn more about what she does. But catch us up, Maritza. What do you do on a day-to-day basis to help dentist dreams come true?
Sure. First and foremost, thank you so much for having this,
my pleasure.
this amazing community. So let's be real. Practice ownership or business ownership in general is intense, right? It's not a joke. So what I do at MDent is we try to help dentists go from being lost in the woods and getting into that straight road with a GPS where they're not lost. And we help them get make their one shot of successful practice ownership the best it can be by focusing on everything from getting the right financing, getting the right systems in place, managing their expenses from conception to operating your practice. We are the helping hand you need to provide that guidance and support along the way.
I love that. Tell me a little bit, the startup dental practice is, this theme of it can create dreams, but it also can create nightmares. I mean, to be truly genuine, and Halloween's coming up, scary stories. I had a coaching client who said, Paul, I think I have to declare bankruptcy for my startup. And I say, no way, I'll get you the right people. And she had to declare bankruptcy. And it was very sad and it was crushing. And you're here to help people not have that happen. When should people be contacting you? Let's say you're an associate dentist, you like your associate job, but you're thinking, I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own autonomy. I want to start up a practice. When should they be texting MDent to 215-543-6454 to learn more?
Sure. I'll answer that with a brief story about two doctors that were classmates in dental school. And they both graduated, started their families. One decided they both knew they wanted to do practice ownership. And one of them, through her associate position, reached out to me early on in the game and said, Maritza, my father is a dentist, but I do know that he's made a lot of mistakes as a practice owner. I want to avoid making these mistakes. I know your background. I know that you've helped open so many dental practices. Can you help me? So we started mapping out the vision. Where was she going to open? How far away from her household? How many patients are in the area? What's the size of the location, expecting, her future growth. We mapped out and created an entire blueprint for this dentist that is now able to take 4 weeks off. She has an associate, spend every summer with her family, while the other friend that 1 year into her practice being open, my other client said, you should speak to Maritza. So a year into practice ownership for her friend, that they were classmates. I get on the phone with the doctor and I come to her office, and everything is just, she has made all the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, the earlier the better, just because there are a lot of resources and information, but you want to make sure that you're not taking a cookie cutter approach to getting your practice up and running. You want a customized, tailored plan that is going to be true to your vision, to the community that you want to serve, and who you want to treat. So the earlier the better. If you're an associate that has that ownership bug and you want to talk about, practice ownership, definitely reach out to me.
I love that. To use a dental term, you can't put the expensive toothpaste back in the bottle. So a lot of times, practice owners that do not have guidance from someone like you, they would just make errors in judgment that might seem normal, but they spend money in ways that are nacho nuts. They undervalue marketing. They overvalue sometimes probably what the cabinets look like. All these dentisting mistakes people make. So I love what you do for our community and help them. When they text MDent to 215-54364, what happens? Do they jump on a Zoom call with you and your team? Do they fill out a form? Walk us through that.
So basically, I have a questionnaire form, and you just basically let me know where you are in your journey. What is your ambition? Where do you want to open potentially? And we start off immediately helping you. We get on a discovery call. After that, we start helping you analyze demographics and connect you with the right people, and try to drive that strategic plan for you from early on. So the first step is to schedule a discovery call. And once we get on that call, based on where you are in that journey, we can step in and start guiding you.
Awesome, Marcia. Well, really appreciate you doing this. There should be more. The things you do in this space protect dentists from making enormous mistakes that they truly can regret for their entire career. Get the help you need from Maritza and her team. Text MDent to 215-543-6454. Or if they wanted to reach out to you directly, Maritza, how could they do that?
So I am in social media, but you can always email me, maritza@mdentcs.com. That's my personal email. Or you can visit my website, mdentcs.com, and to schedule your discovery call with me.
Awesome, Maritza. Well, thanks so much for supporting our community as a sponsor. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Sure.
My pleasure. So we've gone from marketing, we've gone from metrics, we've done making dreams come true. I'm ready for my next guest, when my team is ready to bring them up. We have awesome Carrie Millar, who's going to help protect our data. Protect our data. Carrie, tell us what you at Dental Insurance Services, awesome sponsor of the group, what do you do on a day-to-day basis to prevent crying inside for dentists?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up in October is Cyber Awareness Month. And so I'm one of 3 pillars to make sure you are cyber secure and protected. So you want to make sure you have a good IT company. You want to make sure you have compliance in place. And then more importantly, you want to make sure you have a cyber insurance policy in place. And so that's what October is all about, is Cyber Insurance Awareness Month.
That's great. We should ask that. Do you have a good IT company? Yes or no? Are you compliant? And what was that third one there they should know?
Do you have cyber insurance in place in case something happens?
Cyber insurance. So tell us a little bit, I can tell this funny story about my awesome dad and his partner. In 1999, a lot of his patients, when they were in the chair, said, are you ready for Y2K? Because Y2K, they had said, when the year came 2000, all the computers were going to shut down. And my dad looked at him with confidence and said, we are totally ready in this dental office for Y2K, because they had 0 computers. They were still writing things down. I remember as a child going into the office so my dad could check his big appointment book. And, and actually there's some, even though people think that's so behind the times, there was some quaintness to that, but we don't have that world anymore. And now we have all this data. So why is it important, if someone's listening in, just to know how important it is to protect your data? What happens if things go wrong? What happens if your data gets stolen? Do you go directly to jail? What happens?
That's okay. You go directly to jail. So if your data gets stolen, you need to make sure that you're in compliance with HIPAA, which means that you're going to have a forensic investigation, and you're going to have to notify all of your patients. So having a cyber liability insurance policy in place that not only pays for your lost income while you're down, but also pays to notify all your patients, pays for their forensic investigation, and pays for, the damage to your software and hardware. It used to be that you could just unplug your computer and kick them out and go to your backups, but that's not the case anymore. And they are absolutely able to hide in your backups and take you down. So it's very scary. So,
and I'll share one of the 3 worst days of my life is when we were hacked and everything went as well as possible, and it was a total nightmare. Cost time, cost money, cost stress. The IT department was there. I remember we had to send our thing. Also, what's interesting about life, Carrie, is like, I'm a dentist and I know there's vulnerability to being hacked, right? I'm a business. I know that this could happen, right? And you have these best practices, and we didn't have any HIPAA breaches and it was all fine. But when you get notified as the customer, you always go, what kind of rinky-dink operation is Target really running, right? So if Target notified me and said, hey, Paul, your credit card was involved in some sort of data breach, everything was okay, but we just want to let you know, I lose trust in Target because I'm emotional, right? I shouldn't, because I have the exact same type of business, but it's why it's so important to hire people like you, because maybe you can talk about when you've dealt with this with customers who had to either file claims. Are they emotionally undone? Are they very, very stressed? Tell us about that impact on the practice owner.
Oh no, absolutely. And what, like you were saying, you didn't have faith in Target. So one of the biggest things about that is your reputation and making sure it's handled correctly in your PR. And I've seen it handled really incorrectly, and I've seen it handled greatly. So I'll give an example. If you're in a smaller town and you have a hack, sometimes it can make the news. Sometimes it can make the local paper. It is live, so that it can happen. We had a dentist one time who decided to just send a postcard to every patient to let them know. And of course, the local news got a hold of the postcard and put it everywhere. So you have to be really delicate. You want to make sure that the PR part is part of your policy. Yeah. But I will tell you that the amount of attacks are almost weekly now that I get claims that we have people coming in. It's not just big offices, it's small offices. They're getting trickier. We had one last week where they figured out the password to their payroll system. So it wasn't even their own computer, but it was their third-party payroll vendor. They went in, created some fake employees, paid them $20,000 each, and then spammed the dental practice's emails so that there was tons of emails going in. So they didn't get the notification that the employee was made. And their payroll company had a direct EFT link. So the money came out of the dental office and they were out $250,000 for these fake employees. And they have to try and get that. So that's funds transfer fraud. And we have a policy for that and they have coverage for that. But if they didn't, it's not like their patients got attacked, their files got attacked. Like they're finding ways to get into people's system. It's not just a fake email from UPS now.
Yeah, that's like one of those movies from John Grisham, The Firm. You got to write that up. It's a dentist data breach. The next show coming to a streaming service. Well, I so appreciate what you do, Carrie, to help our dentists stay aware, stay protected, be responsibly scared. People can text DIS to 215-543-6454. If they wanted to reach out to you directly, how could they do that?
Yeah, they can just text me at 850-350-7155 or call me. And for October, our Cyber Liability Carrier Coalition is giving away microfiber wipes for your loops, and they're great. Oh, nice. And so if you want to get a cyber insurance quote from them, from my website, they will send you a free microfiber fleece.
Awesome. Our dentist people, we love free stuff. Yeah. It's literally our favorite thing. Our crown preps, $2,000 works of art. But us, we like free stuff. So you know your audience. Well, thanks so much for sharing with us, Carrie, and being part of our community.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Nacho team, you can bring the Dr. Jason Smithson thing back up. So I inspire you, kindly annoy you to come to Philadelphia to see one of the best dentists on earth. Text Smithson to 215-543-6454 or go to dentalnachos.com/events to get 3 Fs in Philadelphia with us: food, fun, and friends. Thanks so much for being here with me today.